They are not sending you a warning letter. They are not calling you. They are simply doing it quietly behind closed doors. And millions of seniors across the country are waking up to find their access restricted, their accounts frozen, or their money moved without their permission. What is happening inside our banks right now is something that the financial industry does not want you to talk about openly. But today we are talking about it. Because if you or someone you love has a bank account, this affects you directly and you need to know before it is too late. Welcome to UK Visa Diary, where we break down the things that matter most to everyday people. The information that protects your money, your rights, and your future. Today's topic is one of the most important we have ever covered, so stay with us until the very end, because the last part of this video could save you hundreds or even thousands of pounds. Let us start with what is actually happening. Banks across the United Kingdom and beyond have quietly introduced a series of new internal policies that disproportionately affect older account holders. These are not announced with headlines. They are buried in terms and conditions updates, sent in envelopes that many people assume are junk mail, or simply rolled out without any meaningful notification at all. And what these policies are doing is effectively restricting the financial freedom of seniors in ways that would have seemed unthinkable just a decade ago. The first thing banks are now doing is flagging large cash withdrawals made by seniors as suspicious activity. If you are over 65 and you walk into your branch and try to withdraw a significant amount of your own money, you may now be asked to explain why you need it, who it is for, and what you plan to do with it. Some people have been turned away entirely and told to come back with a family member or to provide written documentation. This is your money. Money you worked for, saved, and deposited in good faith. And yet the system now treats you as a suspect for trying to access it. The second policy that has quietly taken root is the so-called vulnerability flagging system. Under the guise of protecting older customers from scams and financial abuse, banks are now applying internal labels to accounts belonging to seniors. Once that label is on your account, your spending can be monitored, certain transactions can be blocked, and in some cases, family members or third parties can be given access to your account information without your explicit request. The intention on paper sounds protective, but in practice, it strips away financial independence from people who are perfectly capable of managing their own money. The third and perhaps most alarming development is what is happening with branch closures combined with the digital shift. Banks are closing physical branches at a record rate, and seniors who are not comfortable with online banking are being left without accessible services. When they call the helpline, they face long wait times, automated systems, and representatives who are trained to push them toward apps and online portals. The result is that a generation of people who built the wealth of this country are now being systematically cut off from the institutions that hold that wealth. Now, here's something that very few people are talking about. There is a legal framework called the Equality Act, and under it, banks are obligated to make reasonable adjustments for customers who may face barriers due to age. If you have been denied access to your funds, told you cannot withdraw without justification, or had your account flagged without your knowledge, you may have legal grounds for a formal complaint. The Financial Ombudsman Service handles exactly these kinds of disputes, and they have the power to order banks to reverse decisions and compensate affected customers. Most seniors never file a complaint because they do not know they have the right to, or they feel embarrassed, or they assume the bank must be correct. None of those things are true. So, what should you do right now? First, check your account terms. Log in or call your bank and ask whether your account has any flags, restrictions, or vulnerability markers attached to it. You have the right to know this. Second, document everything. If you have ever been denied access to your funds, refused a withdrawal, or had a transaction blocked, write it down with dates, times, and names if possible. Third, if you believe your bank has treated you unfairly, file a complaint directly with the bank first, and if that does not resolve the issue within 8 weeks, escalate it to the Financial Ombudsman Service. The process is free and straightforward. Fourth, talk to the people in your life about this. Your parents, your grandparents, your neighbors, your friends. So many seniors are suffering in silence because they think they are the only one this is happening to, or because they feel ashamed that they could not navigate a system that has been deliberately made more complicated. Share this information. Print it out if you need to. The more people who know their rights, the harder it becomes for these practices to continue unchallenged. And finally, do not assume that because a bank is a large institution, it must be acting within the boundaries of fairness or even legality. Banks make mistakes. Banks implement policies that go too far. And banks back down when customers push back with knowledge and persistence. At UK Visa Diary, our commitment is simple. We give you the real information, the kind that makes a difference in your daily life, so that you are never caught off guard and never left without options. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe to UK Visa Diary so you never miss a video that could protect you or your family. Because knowledge is not just power. In situations like this, knowledge is protection, and everyone deserves to be protected.